Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Almighty Boys. I'm K-dre Almighty. To the right of me, we got introduce yourself. All right, we got KC Salsguard. Uh,
What up? Well,
we got Matt Offroading, and then we got last but not least, we got the birthday boy, Zach Attack on Gaming.
hi guys.
All right, guys. We know we haven't been consistent with videos, but we're back with another video right after Christmas. Well, not right after because a couple of days, but who's counting? And we're gonna get back in here. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of things that we have to cover, and yeah, we're gonna start off the way we always do. What have you been playing, if anything, lately, Kagan?
So you already know the answer to this. My normal 2K. I've been playing Madden a lot more. My boys, they've actually been hopping on with it, trying to make the game fun how we can. Uh, what I'm saying, the Pokemon games came out. I've been playing Pokemon Violet.
Okay.
Haven't played much within the past couple of days, but since we last did the podcast, I mean, I've beat the game up to a couple of phases, and you know, just stuff like that. Um, Otherwise, I think that's about it for what I've played, pretty much.
Okay. Okay. Um, what about you, Ben? Have you? I mean, Matt Off-roading. What have you been playing?
I recently, I think, what was it, about a week and a half ago, I was playing Pokemon on the Switch, which I finally got a Switch, so I got to do that, and just Minecraft and stuff.
Okay.
Just kind of chilling, just normal random games that I have.
Got you. Got you. All right, Zach.
What's going
What have
on?
you been playing?
So over the course since we last talked, I was also playing Scarlet and Violet, particularly Scarlet. I've beaten it, completed the Pokedex. I was showing some of these guys my shinies. Um, More recently, in between that and the third game I'll talk about, I played No Man's Sky. I re-downloaded that. It's like a totally different game from last time that I played it. That was fun. I played that for a few days. I also beat Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok. That was really fun. I got the platinum on that. That was a good time. And what I've been on recently is I've been on Marvel's Midnight Suns. It's like a strategy card game thing on console, and just been having a blast with that. It's really cool.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. It looks like fun. I have to look
Oh, and
more
I
into
guess too,
that.
do we want to talk about like movies and shows that people have also been on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, here we'll start with me because I was already talking, and then we can go backwards. Um, so I started Demon Slayer, and I finished it. That was really cool. Saw the movie as well. Have not watched like the movie interpretation of the filler, or not the filler of the movie. Um, but it was still really good. I can't wait for that to come back. Um, Also started. I watched the first episode of Wednesday today as well on Netflix, and then I was also watching Super Crooks. It's based off this like limited comic series, and that's a really good show as well. That's on Netflix, and it's like an anime adaptation of this comic book, and I think it's like 11 episodes or something, but it's really good, and I would recommend that to anybody who just kind of wants something to watch that's really cool. It's like crooks with like superpowers, but it's not like they're god tier level. It's like their powers are like they're kind of cool, but also like they can get fucked up by heroes like easily, and they kind of got to be smart, and they don't always pull off their crimes. Like I think last episode I saw was like the main character like got caught on his wedding day, and he spent 5 years in prison, and he got out, and like the chick he was getting married to just wants nothing to do with him, and so it's cool. It's really cool, and I guess it takes place in like Jupiter's Legacy universe, which I don't know too much about, but Super Crooks is it's really cool.
Okay, okay. Ben,
Uh,
I mean, off-roading. Have you been watching anything?
Not really. I mainly just watch YouTube. So
Okay, okay.
don't really have any streaming platforms, so I don't really watch any shows or anything.
Got you, got you. Okay, KC, what have you been up to? What have
To be honest, pretty much same as Matt. Haven't really been watching much. Within maybe like the past 2 weeks, I've finished the whole arc of One Piece, the Fishman Island arc. That's like about 500 something episodes in. That arc was like around 70, 80 episodes long.
Okay.
I finished that like about a week ago. Haven't been on it since. Just kind of taking it a bit slower after I finished certain parts of it. So that's pretty much it for me. Just YouTube, One Piece. Might get back on. I haven't finished watching Chucky. Like I stopped watching that for whatever reason. But like one day I'm trying to get through finish whatever episode they got out.
Okay, okay.
That was pretty good. I like that.
Got you. So for me, let's see, what have I just finished the 13th episode of the Bleach 100 Blood War arc. I believe that's the last episode for this season that they're doing of it. I think they're gonna have more seasons, but they're like splitting it up. So I believe that was the finale of this first season. I could be wrong, but it cleared up a lot of questions and like suspicions that people had in Bleach. Oh dang! What the heck? No way! My internet fucking hates me. What the heck?
Wow.
Can't
Wow.
see.
Yeah, my bad. I'm just gonna redo that part because I'm just gonna cut it out once.
Yeah, yeah. Just start wrapping the topic. Yeah, just.
Why
I'm gonna have to cut that part out once I.
you still?
All right, here we go.
Look at this.
So for me, I've been watching a whole bunch of Bleach, 100 Year Blood War. Uh, they just released the 13th episode, which I believe is the last episode for this season of the new anime. I believe they're gonna split it up in different seasons. So I believe this was the last episode. I'm not 100% sure on that. It cleared up a lot of like suspicions and just like theories people had. I mean, obviously, if you read the manga, you kind of already know that stuff that happened. But if you did not, then it cleared up a lot of stuff. If you only watched the anime, and it was very interesting to find out like, oh, so this is why this is like this, and you know, so that was pretty fun finishing up yesterday because the new episodes come out every Monday. Then I watched Edge Runners, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I think that really had the feeling of cyberpunk in it. It was amazing, honestly. I like the cast. I hate the way Rebecca died. I'm not gonna. I don't know if you guys have all seen it or not, or interested in that, so I'm not gonna say anything. But Rebecca was my one of my favorite characters in the show, hands down. And she was done wrong, but I'm gonna move on. I also seen the first episode of Wednesday. It was pretty good. I'm probably gonna try to finish it, the whole series. I mean the season, but yeah, I'm interested to know more about that. What else have I been watching? Also, there was a show called Titans. It was like a DC show that was on like their little like network they had for a little bit, but then it moved to HBO Max. I've been watching that. They have a new season that came out, their fourth season. I believe like 6 or 8 episodes are out right now. Um, I'm on like the third episode of season 4, but it's a pretty good show. I like it, so I've been watching that again. And that's pretty much it for me of what I've been watching.
Was Titans, was that the one where like Nightwing, like he's like fighting somebody and he's like fuck Batman?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's probably it. That's probably it.
I
Probably.
want to watch that. I hear it's like really good. Like I know they've got like Red Hood and stuff that they've introduced recently, and like Blackfire, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty
Yeah,
interesting. At the beginning, at some points, I was like, but once I just kind of was like, it's probably just like in a different universe or something. I
mm-hmm.
enjoyed it more. But yeah, it's really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, so we got a couple of topics that we wanted to talk about with you guys today. We want to start it off with the new Super Nintendo theme park. I'm sure a lot of us are Nintendo fans in some type of way. So Zach, why don't you start off with this Nintendo theme park? What do you think about it? This
Okay.
is
So I had like just seen this trailer today, and I thought it looks really good. You know, for something like honestly, I can't believe that I haven't heard of it before. Um, it like the thwomps, and then there was like this thing where they give you this like little Mario wrist thing, and then you're able to like bump the mystery blocks and interact with them, and
mm,
that I guess it changes like the landscape of the park. I thought that was really cool.
yeah,
They've kind of got the Disney thing going on where it's like, oh, you have the actors that are dressed up as Mario characters.
yeah,
I think we saw like Mario, Luigi, Peach. Um, Maybe there was another one, but those are definitely ones that stood out.
cool,
There's a lot of iconic imagery and locations. There was like the the main castle. There was Bowser's castle. There was all the mushrooms. There's even the Koopas. They were around too. Um,
yeah,
I thought it looked really cool. I think I saw something about like Universal, so I don't know if it's like at a Universal Studios or something. I don't know. We'll have to look more into that.
yeah,
Um, but it looked really cool, and we were talking about this a little before we hopped on here. But like Super Nintendo World, we would love to see like other Nintendo IPs kind of come in there. Like we were talking about Pokemon, there was like Legend of Zelda, and I think it would be really cool, like if this does well, which I imagine it will, if they throw in like all these different characters that they have and really like kind of do like a Disney World where it's like, oh, you've got like you have the Disney stuff, then over here, and you have like the Star Wars stuff over there, and then you've got Marvel stuff over here. Like I think that would be really cool, and I'm excited to see. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with it, and looks like we won't have to wait too long. I think February 17th or something was the date that was on the trailer, so I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Ben, what do you think about that? Would it be a place that you would visit or interested in?
It's definitely pretty cool. It's definitely a cool experience. It's kind of like being like in like a video game, kinda.
Okay, okay,
That's how I describe it.
got you, got you. Kagan, what about you? I mean, vegan Casey, what do you think? Uh, what's going on?
Eventually over time it could just become like a thing. It's just like a whole, you have the Mario stuff this way, Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, all that, and that's probably what the goal for them is anyways, to try to expand. Just start with Mario because that's all we do on the biggest gaming franchise of all time. Everybody knows Mario and pretty much everything about it. Um, but yeah, it definitely gives off a real Disney vibe to it. Um, Definitely excited to see what other attractions kind of offer. And I just hope they do well. Like I said, I want them to expand and I want them to grow. I want them to take any opportunity they can to expand upon what they have. And, yeah,
Yeah, I
And
agree
provide
with
some
that.
competition. Is that what you're kind of wanting, Kagan? Or Casey?
Perhaps maybe they could provide competition. They probably not.
It's kind of like a different thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
just like the same thing but different. You
Mhm.
know, because what if you for some reason go off of Disney? How you would go off of Disney or something to like Disney,
Mm,
but
because not everybody likes Disney stuff.
that's true.
yeah, it's
Everybody
just
has different tastes
one
and
of
stuff.
those.
Well, I like the
Yeah,
precedent too that this could set. Like, could you imagine going to like a PlayStation World or something, and there's like
like
Ratchet and
Sony
Clank
World.
and like and Daxter and like Kratos.
Yeah.
Like that would be so cool, or like a Xbox World, or something like that, where it's like, oh, you got Master Chief and like Gears of War characters walking around. Like I think that could be really
And
cool.
I could
It could be, yeah, for sure.
more video game based.
And I think this could do a lot for Nintendo because Nintendo's not that big of a company as people think it is. They just make games and they do a couple of other stuff, but they're not. If you look at their network, they're not as big as Sony or Xbox, obviously, with Microsoft or something like that. So this could be a new revenue for them to make more profit and grow as a company so I'm sure they're investing smart in this. That's probably why they picked Mario, one of their most recognizable characters. Obviously Pokemon's their biggest franchise, but I think they got the Pokemon company that owns the majority, I think, of Pokemon. So Pokemon might get their own park, who knows, or maybe their own section. But
I think that like Mario is easier versus doing a whole Pokemon park. I would say Mario is a good starting point.
I mean, yeah,
There's so much like depth to Pokemon. Mario's pretty straightforward, I would say. It's like
And like I imagine, it's like coming off of that, like you get a lot less criticism like with your first Mario part, because it's like, oh yeah, like Mario. Rather, if you do like Pokemon, it'll be like, well, why isn't this in here? Why isn't that in there? And so
yeah,
I could understand. As much as I would much rather see a Pokemon world,
Oh yeah, me
uh,
too.
I can understand it, and I'm still excited for this.
multi-hanger.
Hey, no, but just imagine like a Pokemon world where they kind of had like literally 9 different sections for like the 9 different regions. Like that'd be kind of cool.
that's
Like
like a
you can
whole
see all the
resort.
Pokemon that's native to that region and stuff. Obviously, that's a lot of work, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
in concept, I feel like that would work if they ever decided to do that. I'd be all with that.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It'll be
That's how it
expensive
works.
probably though. They'll be charging out the, what? But it would be fun to see something like that. Definitely. So next, we got the Guardians of the Galaxy. I know, I know Zach is the probably the one that knows a little bit more than all of us. But since he got the chance to go first last time, why don't I give Kagan? Why don't you go first, and why don't you tell us what you think about the movie, and then we'll let Zach lay down some Easter eggs he knows about, and just different stuff.
Okay, can you wanna lead first with your thoughts, and then I'll come in after.
Uh, you see, as much as I would like to do that, I'm not gonna lie, my thoughts aren't really there right now. I still haven't really seen the trailer like that. I've seen it, I just can't recall anything specifically from it. Um, I definitely kind of want to talk about, perhaps why it is being so big in this new movie. Where like when last time we seen it, it was like obviously real small. It kind of makes me wonder like how much time has passed since the last movie and this one. Let me see. No, that's probably about it for me. I gotta look at the trailer.
Okay,
Probably
okay.
speak more on that.
Should I come in here?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's gonna get much better than
Okay.
that.
All
Lay
right.
it on us.
All right. Well, here. Let me pull up some of the things I was talking about. So some interesting things that I've noticed, just kind of right off the bat as a comic fan. The outfits that they're wearing, kind of at the beginning of the trailer, they're from this comic line called Annihilation Conquest.
Okay.
And like that was something that like right away when I saw those, I was like, I know what that is. That's a really cool shout out, and that's probably some of the coolest outfits that the Guardians have ever had. And it's really cool to see those on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they're on Earth as well, like in like the first part of the trailer.
Mm.
So that'll be really interesting because I don't think we've seen Peter Quill, Star Lord, on Earth since like the beginning of the first movie.
Yeah.
Like even in the holiday special that came out recently, it was just Mantis and Drax that went down to Earth. So I'm excited to see, like, I don't know, you play that little fish out of water thing, kind of, where it's like, oh, it's a culture shock. I'm excited to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Something else was, it looks like the main antagonist, or at least one of them that we know of, is the High Evolutionary, and that was the guy that you'll see in the trailer, kind of here and there. His thing is like he experiments on animals, and he's like all about evolution, and it's implied that like Rocket came from his experiments.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool to see him get some backstory. He's got some really interesting things in the comics.
Okay.
Um, Something else too. Another part in the trailer where they're like flying out in space. They all have like these Among Us outfits where they're all like color coded and stuff. Like I thought that was pretty funny. I like seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
There's Cosmo. That's like their dog. He's like a Russian telepath.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be really cool to see him because we only saw him in like a little bit of the first movie when he's in like the collector's place.
Mm-hmm.
We have the eyebrows guy as Adam Warlock. That'll be cool. That's another really big cosmic level character. I'm excited to see what he does with that and how that pertains to the plot. Groot, yeah, that was another thing. I think he talked about this. The director, I'm trying to remember what he said, um, but I think it was because like we last saw him as like a teenager in Infinity War, and then I think he's like at a different part of his life than he was even in the first Guardians. Because like I think in the first Guardians it was like he was kind of like older. Maybe it was like sort of like you're on like the older man side, and this is him as like maybe he's like young 20s, you know. So he's kind of like, you know, he's fit, he's buffed up. So I think that's maybe what they were going for. Also, maybe they're trying to go for like more of like a classic. You remember like those old scary movies where like all the monsters were like prosthetics and they all had like these outfits that were like they kind of looked obviously fake, but like maybe they're trying to pay homage to that. Um, but I'm sure it's something that'll probably get explained whenever we watch it. Looks like there's some emotional beats in there. There was like a part with like Star Lord like kind of like crying out or something.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of rumors that people think Rocket's gonna die. I don't know. I hope not. I love him. He's like my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to wait and see. And finally, um, May 5th as the release date next year, which is interesting because May is typically when their big Avengers movies come out. Like if you look, I think almost every single Avengers movie was released in May. Even Captain America: Civil War, which was like a big team up movie, that was also released in May. So it's interesting that they're giving that really big summer slot to this movie. So like, you know, maybe that shows like how much faith they have behind this, or like how much they're pushing it, or that you know this is a big deal because apparently they did say this will be the last time we see this specific roster of Guardians together. So we'll have to see what happens with that.
Oh damn. Okay, so it looks like they are going to change something up. Um, all right, I guess we'll go with Ben, and then I'll just say what I think of whatever I have. What do you got for us, Ben?
Watching a little bit now. So it's like I just saw like the captions. It's like what was it? It's the rocket says we'll all fly together or fly away together, and it's like then like the next line is like one last time. So it's like that's kind of interesting. That that's like some lines in just the trailer.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's gonna be interesting. Even though I haven't really watched much of Guardians of the Galaxy really, so
Okay.
maybe it's time to start watching.
Yeah.
Then I could get a little bit more
Yeah. I love the
knowledge
Guardians.
on the topic.
Okay. Well.
It looks like it's gonna be a pretty good movie so far.
Okay.
Would definitely be down to go watch it with you guys.
Got you. Yeah, that's the thing we could do. We probably should start watching some movies together and doing some reviews.
The Almighty Boys movie reviews.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool thing. I'm a big Guardian of the Galaxy fans. I probably like their movies better than some of the other Marvel movies. I think their movies are always fun, eventful, and funny, and I think their movies always had like some kind of really important, value in the Marvel universe. Whether it's just like showing some, valuable like thing that will come. Like I think the first time we seen one of the stones,
Celestials.
I think it was.
Oh, and stones.
Yeah, I think it was in one of their movies. If I'm not, well, it might have been Doctor Strange too, but it was definitely one of them was in their movie as
It
well.
depends how weirdly technical you want to get, because you could be like, oh, the first Avengers, or even the first Captain America movie with the Tesseract, but it maybe it was like the first time we saw like the actual stone itself, like by itself. It was either that or I think it was that one, because the other times they showed them, they were like in weird catalysts, like it was in the cube, or it was Loki's staff, or it was in the second Thor, where it was like weird liquid. But yeah, no, I think that was the first time we saw the stone actually as the stone.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I just always thought the movies were good. Some things that I'm interested about. I wanted to see if Peter will get thing. What is her name? It's been so long since I watched the movies. But I'm wondering if he'll get I think her name's a
Gamora.
yeah, Kimura. I wonder if he'll get her back because it's her, but I think it's like a different version of her, or like her from the past or something.
Yeah, it's her from before they met
Yeah.
originally, and she was like plucked and dragged into the future.
So it's kind of weird. It's like he has to try to like get her back again, or would it?
What's that? It's like that Adam Sandler movie, like 50 First Dates, where like
Yeah,
every day they wake up, his like girlfriend forgets everything about him, and he has to like re-go on all the dates with her. It's kind of like that, where like he has to rebuild this relationship, and she has no idea who he is, and he knows everything about her.
yeah, that one's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, and then Rocket and Groot. It looks like some major stuff is going to happen. It seems like Rocket makes some friends that went through the same things he did, because you see him on a trailer, like in the trailer hugging somebody. So maybe that was somebody he used to be close with, or maybe he just becomes friends with them. So if something happens to Rocket, I wonder how Groot's gonna take it, or maybe something happens to Groot. You never know. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited to see where this movie goes, and yeah, I can't wait till it comes out. And then what else do we have for today? What's our next topic?
Cyberpunk
Oh,
DLC.
okay. So I guess I'll lead with this one. I'll just go over what it's called. So the new Cyberpunk DLC, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, it V is contacted by the new United States of America to do, I guess, some kind of mission or to help in their agenda. We don't really know. More details, I guess, will be coming out later. But it seems like, from what I can see, it's gonna be a really big DLC. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the trailer for it, but it has I think what is his name? Kanil Alba, or I don't think that's how you pronounce his name, but they have a really big another really big actor in the DLC. Um, and apparently it was somebody that people were speculating that was going to be in the game. So I don't think they'll put a really big actor in the game again and it not be something massive. So and they in the past, CDPR, they have done big DLCs for The Witcher, and it was free. This is the new Cyberpunk DLC. Is going to be a paid one, but at the same time, they're known for doing gigantic DLCs. So I think it's going to be something big and add a lot of stuff to Cyberpunk. Um, I know some of you probably haven't played Cyberpunk, or might, because you don't, you still remember the bad experience other people had, or maybe just not interested in the game. But what do you
It
guys?
definitely had its problems when it first came out. I
Yeah,
had some of the problems too.
yeah,
Just more running quality and stuff, and just bugs.
Okay. Yeah. But it seems like this DLC is gonna be more towards I guess the new America going against Nice City, or maybe just the new America fighting against the corporations. Um, what do you guys think about this? What do you think?
I'll jump in here. Because I played it recently. I think I mentioned this maybe on a different podcast, but
I think you did.
yeah, where I played it and I loved it. I like played through the whole game. It was like the only thing I played for like a week or two, and
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. Fell in love with the characters. Also, goddamn it, look up that Carrie Yacht song. I'm talking to you, whoever's watching this. Also, these guys. Look up that. It's so damn good. Um, and you would only like get to it if you've like done all the side quests and you like hold off on doing the last mission and then you like go through his quest line. It's so good. But this DLC has got me excited. I don't know the actor that you're talking about. I'll have to look that up. I think I've seen the first trailer. I haven't seen this latest one. I need to watch it.
Mm.
But it's definitely something that I will most likely be playing day one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited and like interested to see if it will change the endings of the game. Because and mute me for like 30 seconds, for spoilers. But you kind of die in like every single ending, and there's like one where you get like a happy ending with like your love interest, but it's still like kind of like, oh, we're gonna try and find a way for you to live, but you're still like gonna die in like 6 months. Um, so I'm interested to see if they're gonna do something with that, because that was kind of like the big thing at the end of the game where it was like, yeah, we can like separate your mind from Johnny, but you're still kind of like screwed. Um, so I'd love to see if they do like another ending, and even if they don't, I'm still just kind of excited. Like any excuse to really dive back into that world. Um, I did like everything. Like I had the Knight Rider car in there, and that was sick. It's like one of the best cars in the game. You do like a side quest to get it. Um, it did like all the crimes. Like I've got the platinum on it. Like that should tell you how hard I went in on it. And yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't know what the release date is. I don't know if you remember it, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've been actually anticipating this for quite a while.
I think it says this sometime early 2023.
2023, I think.
Okay, so just kind of at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Now I know like in the first trailer they had like Johnny's voice like at the end, so
Yeah.
hopefully like he's still there and he has some like lines or something. I think I remember hearing rumors that this might take place before the ending of the game, so maybe it's not an alternate ending thing, or maybe it is. I don't know. Um, but honestly, any chance or any reason to hear Keanu again, like yeah, I'm up for that. Love Keanu.
Okay. Kagan, you got anything to add on to this? No. I think it's probably going to take place in between the games, so I think it will probably change up some things and make things different. I don't know how different like things will be, but yeah, I'm hoping it adds some new NPCs and just like new characters to interact with, maybe new companions, hopefully a new area at least, and some new cars and stuff like that, and maybe some new mechanics to the game. I'll definitely appreciate it if it does. But yeah, I'm just interested to play more Cyberpunk again, and to see what they have in store for us.
I need to get back into it. I haven't played in a while. I quit playing because they had bugs.
Yeah,
Apparently they fixed most of them, so
yeah,
I
it's
should
pretty
get back
good.
into it. I mean, I was enjoying it with the bugs and stuff.
Yeah,
It was just kind of annoying.
I got you.
Yeah, definitely interested to see what it brings. I'll definitely watch people play it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So our next topic, something that well, Ben, he's not a big fan of the series, but he's playing the game, and I think we're getting him into it. I think we're slowly getting him into
But
it.
surely,
But yes, Pokemon, the anime, is taking a big, I guess, a leap into new territory, with Ash finally becoming the champion. You know, the new episode that they aired in Japan. It seems well, it's not seems like it's not even rumored anymore. Ash is officially no longer going to be the star of the new anime. You know, that's coming up, and he's they're wrapping up his story, his journey, and I think a lot of people will feel different things about that. Some people are happy, like about time. Some people might be sad, and maybe some people just don't know how they feel about it. Um, so I guess we'll go to maybe like new to old fans. So Kagan, since you're, I mean, Casey, since you're younger than us, why don't you go and tell us how you feel about it?
But I mean, literally for like the past like 25, like 30 years, however long it's been, Ash has been the guy. He's been the protagonist. He's literally, like depending on how old you are, you probably literally grew up with this man. So it definitely kind of feels, you know, some people are gonna feel a certain type of pain when they find out that Ash is definitely gonna be there. Probably gonna turn away the older audience, and that's probably the next one to lead into. Is definitely gonna bring in a new audience, maybe the younger generation that's just now getting into Pokemon.
Mm.
Obviously, they'll get the experience these new characters, for however long, they decide to keep it for. I definitely hope things go well. I will definitely tune in and see what the new characters provide to the show. That maybe Ash did it. Um, I feel like maybe they could have did a bit more with Ash right before he left. I mean, he did become a champion, but not even just a champion. He became a champion, but also literally became the best trainer in the world. So I guess you could say at that point, he's accomplishing the goal of becoming a Pokemon master. Me personally, I feel like there's a couple things he could have did. Maybe just a bit more. Maybe like I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say catch a legendary, but technically they got it. That was a legend. It's ultra beast type of thing. I don't know. I feel like there's more they could have done with Ash, just in the grand scheme of things, but they definitely ended them off on a good note. They definitely went into each other's highest point and decided which is going to end it here. So there's no need for Ash to get to this point and then mess around and lose to another, beginner trainer with a slimy, uh, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt for me. Like I said, I'm interested to see what these new characters do. Uh, I'll pass it off from here.
All right, Zach, why don't you go and tell us how you feel about it?
Um, it's a little bittersweet, because I am kind of like you. Like we grew up with this. It was like one of the first animes I've ever started watching. It was like this, Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball Z. Like that was like every Saturday morning on Kids WB. Like that's what I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I've been watching since, and like not the whole dang series, but like I've been watching, at least you know quite a bit since the original series. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
um, like had a whole bunch of the merch. I've played like every generation of games, even a bunch of the spin-offs. Um, and the anime, it was a big part of that. And maybe I stopped watching a little bit after like Advanced Battle, but like I would always see things on YouTube, and I would always like kind of like check back in, especially at the end of the series, as just kind of seeing like what's going on, like oh Tobias, like screw this guy, right, with his Game Shark, and like or like Ash Ninja, and like checking things out like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the movies were always really cool too. And it's just it's like I feel like a parent, where it's like oh my boy's all grown up now, and he's leaving the nest, and it's like oh it hurts a bit, but I'm proud of him, and it's talking about how like I kind of stopped watching a bit after the Hoenn. I think it was like Advanced Battle or whatever the Battle Frontier one was.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, so then I, with all the hype around Journeys, I actually picked it up and I've like been watching like episode by episode of Journeys.
Mm-hmm.
and like knowing that like oh this is pretty much it for now at least like I think they said like he could come back as like like a side character or, like he would appear like every now and then kind of like Brock and Misty do where it's like maybe you'll have like an episode here or there where it's like oh you'll see him and it'll be like hey remember him um, but it's still bittersweet but it's hard to say that he hasn't earned it or shame the Pokemon Company for wanting to try something different. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, Pokemon the series has been going on for such a long time. It's almost like kind of like One Piece, kind of, where it's one of the longest running series, and to lose like your main character, um, it's something else, and I look forward to seeing like what capacity they'll use him in the future. Like, just kind of like maybe, like I said, show up here and there to help like the new characters. Um, I am a little turned off by it, obviously, like being an OG fan, but I I'm also like kind of adult enough to understand why, and also give the new series a shot. I think it's only fair, especially after like they did such a good job with Journeys. It got like an OG fan like me to like start watching again because there were so many callbacks, and it was like wow, like he's doing it, he's kicking ass, but and like it's happening. Um, so I feel like I could owe it to them to at least try the new series. And something that we haven't mentioned that might hurt worse than losing Ash is losing Team Rocket as well. So that's something else too because they've been around just as long, like maybe like an episode or two behind, but they are also leaving. And like I remember watching Journeys, and I was like, oh my god, they still have Wobbuffet. Like this is crazy. Like Wobbuffet's been there since Johto, and like that's something else too that's is a little bittersweet. But I'm curious to see how their story's gonna end. I think there's still like maybe 5 or 6 more episodes left or something like that. Um, and there's still some stuff that like we don't know. Like there's some stuff between him and Go like in the current series like that they haven't announced yet, like episode titles. So like we don't have any idea. But I think they're gonna go out, probably on like a big note. Like they're gonna do something pretty big, and I'm excited for it. But yeah, I'm a little. I am more sad. I'm not angry. I'm just a little, like I said, bittersweet. Where it's like, okay, like good for him, but also damn. Um, but yeah, that's it for me.
Okay, okay. For me, now I don't know what you were talking about with that Team Rocket. I've been waiting for them to go. Like, I just don't feel like. I just don't feel like I feel like they overstayed their welcome. Like I feel like I think I did a video about it. I don't know if I ended up posting it yet, but I just feel like they overstayed their welcome and they take away time from the show. And I feel like the time that they spend on Team Rocket and always trying to make them fit in the plot, they could have made the episode better. Just not having them. So
Me and you, we can have another video about this. So let's not get too into it. We'll save that for another video.
But I do feel the people that sad that asked to go. I feel it too. I feel like Ash has been through a lot of transitions from people, different writers trying to write him a certain way, and them trying to make Ash fit, into whatever needs they felt like he needed to be fitted in at that time. But I'm happy for Ash. I'm happy that they actually did care enough about him to leave him, let him rest on a high note, instead of just letting it, like some, like Ash is gonna continue his journeys to be a Pokemon master, and but this is like the end for him. This is all you'll see of him. Like we actually seen him become, like a league champion, and then we seen him become the world best trainer, and even though he's not technically, I guess, a Pokemon master, I think they're gonna go in on like what that takes exactly, because they always been kind of vague about it. But I feel like I think we all feel like he's close, like you know. And it is sad. I would like them to do like some episodes where he has some of his old companions with him. I just don't know how much time they actually really have or how much they want to put into that. Um, I would love for Ash to go and finally see his dad. Because we all been speculating like whose that is, and they always say, "Oh, Ash, your dad's here or he's there." I kind of always wanted to see that. I guess they're not invested into showing that. But yeah.
Possibly. There's rumors that like the next few episodes they might actually touch on that. So let's hold our breath for it.
Yeah. But yeah, Ash is you know, the growing up, Ash is somebody I looked at, and always, I used to always watch Pokemon, growing up, and Ash was a big part of my childhood. And I connected with a lot of people because of Pokemon and just how Ash was, and I felt like he was kind of one of my friends. I grew up with him. So it is sad seeing him go, but you can always rewatch episodes and stuff like that, and I just feel like it's good. They had him running for so many years. I feel like the vision of Ash shifted a couple of times to where Kagan's Ash might be different from me and your Ash. A little bit in some sense. So yeah, but on to the new series. A lot of people were speculating that Go is going to be Ash's replacement, but I guess they got some pushback on that. I guess because they're not going that route. And it seems like Go is popular, I guess, but maybe he didn't click with people as much as they thought he would. Because if you look at Go, he's kind of similar to I guess original Ash, where he wants to catch all the Pokemon, even the legendary Mew. Um, but there's two new characters, and if you look at the picture that they show at the end of the trailer, it looks like the little girl might be the actual main character. I don't like I said on my video. I don't know if they're gonna share equally the spotlight or if she's actually gonna be the main like center stage person. But the way that they have it like shown, it looks like she is the main protagonist of the new Pokemon anime might be a female character, which is it's a new twist because this is just my experience, but like I also said in my video, it's always been more boys I guess gravitating to the anime and just other certain stuff. Like I'm not saying there wasn't girl fans, but it was always, and if you like do the numbers, it was always more male than females. Buying the toys, playing the game, playing the cards and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's interesting. But I'm interested to see where this is gonna go and how they're gonna take it. Obviously, cartoons and anime, whatever you want to call it, it's all animation. Is they're different than how they used to be back in the day. So I'm interested to see how they're gonna take this and if I'll be able to tolerate it and watch it. Another show, I used to like, Bakugan. I used to like the original Bakugan. I can't watch the new one. I just don't like it. It's not, something that's aimed towards me, obviously, but it's not anything I'm interested in anymore. So I'm interested to see how this will go. Does anybody else got anything? I mean, anything you want to say about the new series? Any speculations or anything?
Yeah, like especially at the end there, where like you were talking about like Bakugan, where it's like, the new thing, it might just not be for you. You know what I mean? It might be made for somebody else. I just want to say that I do have experience with that. Like being a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I was really into the original series, like Battle City,
Mhm.
even like the like Seal of Orikanko stuff, like Five Dragons, that I wasn't able to like watch all the time because of school. Like I
Yeah.
still tried to, and like
Mhm.
I was into that. And even GX, I enjoyed,
Mhm.
but like yeah, like some of the later stuff, like I just haven't watched like the last like five or so series, but
Mhm.
and it's maybe it's just different, like it just hits different. Um, we've got a lot of nostalgia, for our boy and the things that we love, and I think that's fair. Like not everything is made for everybody, and I don't think any of us are gonna like force ourselves to watch it if we're not into it.
No.
But it looks like the three of us that do watch it will probably give it a shot, and like a fair shot. Um, but yeah, so like and for all the other fans out there, like it might not be for you, and that's totally fine. Um, like even the games, like a lot of the later ones are kind of more like it's like more accessible to younger players. You know what I mean? Because I think they know like kids are getting in at like a younger age, like they're more interested. And I think that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not here to gatekeep anything. Like I think the more people that are into it, the better it is. You know what I mean? And like you said, we'll always have like those original episodes and series and movies and games that we can always go back to. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how it progresses in the future.
Yeah. Uh, you got anything to add on this new series, and what do you think, Kagan, on that? Did you say anything?
I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Me either.
Y'all good, big dog?
I don't think he has anything to say. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Ben, is there any chance that you want to add anything to that?
Well, even just so that, like as an outsider, I'm kind of curious. Like, do you understand? Like, do you have an idea of like what this might mean for like people who have been with this for like 25 years, and like maybe not even that, but like for such a big franchise, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever been like as invested in something like that?
I'm trying to think if I've been in it.
Like,
I
you ever
think,
had like a show or something?
I mean, just like, I mean, I've had shows end and stuff. I don't really know if you want to like.
Imagine if Gravity Falls went on for like
I
20,
knew, I knew you were doing this. I knew you
for
were
like
gonna say that.
25 years, and then it ended, and then they're like, we're doing it again, but we're totally changing the main cast.
So what
And
you're
then there
saying
were also
is,
Gravity Falls games and like fucking toys and things.
so
Yeah.
Gravity Falls got a season 3, right? That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Ash is gonna cameo.
Cameo in Gravity Falls. That'd be crazy. But I think it's interesting that they chose to do that. It's I think they're just trying to go like a new way with stuff, just more maybe more modernize it. I guess you could call it that. Uh, what?
I was gonna say, do you think like the fans are maybe they're a little over emotional, or are you like, oh, I can kind of like understand like
I mean,
this
I
the
can understand, but I mean, the series has been going on for like you said 25 years, so yeah,
at least.
there's definitely gonna be some emotions behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can't. Some people are gonna be fine with it. Some people aren't. You can only do so much. So sometimes you gotta make big decisions in order to make stuff happen. I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Well said.
I mean, a lot of us been saying that Ash needs to probably go, or they need to wrap it up anyway. I know for a fact I love Ash, but I've been saying it too, especially when they kept giving him L after L after L, just to make his journey last longer. So I think they ended him on a high note. They're doing my boy right.
They
Um,
did him on a good note. I agree.
you know, he's back on a high note. You know, just let him sell out in victory, and yeah,
Well,
Look
plus
forward
also
to seeing him in the future.
yeah,
you got like kind of this younger generation of like kids is just it's different than the older generations and stuff. So like maybe they're not getting as much of a how would you put it like
Well, like
viewership.
the emotion and the feeling, they're like Ash
yeah
and Butterfree. Like what the hell's
yeah
Butterfree have to do with anything? And then like us who's seen the original series, we're like, oh my god, that was like his first Pokemon he ever caught. It was a Caterpie, and then he let it go so it could be with another one, and he hadn't seen her, and then the journeys, and then it came back, and it was like, oh my god, like yeah. And the newer people might just be like, well, what does all that mean? Like, what's
Yeah,
the point?
I would
Yeah.
say they might do the introduce the new character to so they can re-grasp the
Yeah.
audience, I guess, with the
yeah.
younger audience, kind of pull that back in.
I mean,
Try to have like a new Ash with them.
maybe
Planting a new seed, kind of, with it.
Yeah.
Ash could kind of could be like a big brother, maybe mentor to them. I don't see him like following them or anything, or like them being around him, but maybe they run into him.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
he is
something like
world
that.
champion, and that tournament is held in that region, so it wouldn't be suspicious for him to be there somehow, somewhere.
I think I think they would do it like, and y'all who have seen the show, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Where it's like kind of like a Cynthia role, where it's like he'll pop up like maybe once every I don't know how many episodes she shows up, like 70 or so. Sometimes she won't show up for seasons at a time, and maybe she'll have a couple episodes where she's integral to the plot. But probably I think they would do something like that, where it's like you don't see him too much where it's like, well, why is he not the main character? But you would also like when you do see him, you're like, okay, nice, like this is really good. This is good for the OG fans. Yeah, because they have done that with other characters who've like they've shown up in like the other series where it's like, oh, I know this character from like back then, and like, oh, they're here for a bit, and then you won't see them for a while, and then they'll come, you'll see them again, and from what I've heard, that he's gonna be in that type of role. Like it's not like we're never seeing Ash again. It's like he's on the back seat now. You know what I mean? Which is good. I'm glad they're not totally just like offing him from the anime. Like I'm excited to see where he shows up in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Poketards unite.
Yeah. Let's see here, guys. I believe that was all the topics we had for today.
Oh yeah.
Well, as always, guys, I'm K-dre Almighty. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube under the same name. And I'm gonna let these guys give out their handles, and we're gonna wrap it up. Another great episode.
Good episode.
You guys wanna tell them where they can find you?
I guess I'll go.
Really, you. Oh yeah, sure. I thought normally Buddy goes, but yeah.
Okay, so
KC.
you can find me at youtube.com at Matt Offroading and also on Twitch too.
Okay.
Uploading somewhat consistently on YouTube, trying to.
Okay.
Check out his grounded videos.
They're doing decent.
Okay. Okay.
My thumbnails look nice.
The best.
Thank you. Alright. I'll go with Casey, I guess.
We can't.
Oh,
He's saying it, but you can find KC at KC Sauce God on TikTok, and I think he has the same name on other platforms as well. That's KC Sauce God. All right.
hang on. I think it. Talk again, Casey.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we can hear you now. That's good.
Okay. But yeah, with that ball dude up there above me, yeah, all that shit, Casey Sauce God, all platforms. I got some upload on TikTok. I'm gonna try to do YouTube in 2020. Watch out for that.
Okay.
You can find me on most other platforms. Casey Sauce God, it's all the same. Just, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up, whatever.
Alright. Last but not least.
What's going on, guys? Help me find my hand, please. Like, where is this? Why is it not here?
Dang.
Okay, you guys can find me at Zach Attack on Gaming. Here, you can just kind of look at the screen. You see that cute little thing right there? That's my logo. Just type that in on YouTube. You'll be able to find me. I'm also on Twitter. I post very infrequently over there. But Zaddy of None. It's like Daddy, but with a Z instead. And yeah, that's it. That's where you can find me at.
Alright. Well, with that, guys, we're all out. See you guys next episode.